What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It is the 5th day of April. Here we are sitting at about $0.00471 with roughly 9 hours left in the day. Everybody's freaking out about Robinhood Legend, Robinhood Legend. I don't really care. Personally, I think that a lot of this new stuff, Goliath was a big deal. Robinhood Legend, whatever. I mean, cool. We were already on Robinhood, but that's cool. Robinhood Legend, yeah. We're on the trading desk with no leverage. It's spot trading. Because we were already on Robinhood, here's the bright side. Here's the bright side about Robinhood Legend. Typically, when you get an exchange or a trading desk listing, that's bad, right? It's bad. Because typically, before that happens, the insider news pumps up the price. The exchange, the trading desk, they're buying more OnyxCoin, and that's sending the price up higher, stuff like that, right? But once they launch, once they list the coin, once it's available to trade, they have enough. They have enough of it. They don't need any more. So now they're not buying it. They're not acquiring it. They have their reserves full, so they're selling it to you, the person who's excited that it all of a sudden got listed. And that's where we typically see selling pressure, from various exchanges. With Robinhood, I've noticed it's not always that simple. It's not always that simple. But in this sense, the fact that we're listed on Robinhood Legend, I would think is more short-term bearish news. It's not really like I get that everybody's getting excited, but I'm not gonna fluff a pillow. I'm just gonna say, hey, cool, we got a pillow. Like I don't know. It's another avenue to trade in the long term. That's going to be good. I think that's going to be only beneficial to OnyxCoin, not detrimental. And the fact that it's on Robinhood, it's one of few coins it's on Robinhood, guys. That's Vlad Tenev does his research, man. Their team does their research. They don't put just random stuff on there. And I think that this thing has a place, man. I think that there's going to be some impressive price action, not because of Robinhood, but because of what this thing is capable of and what they're continuing to do. On that note, though, again, short term it could be bearish. Maybe we do see a little bit of selling pressure. I don't know if we will. That news came out yesterday or the day before. I didn't make a video yesterday. I didn't have time, guys. It was we were doing Easter stuff for the family. I tried. YouTube was being slow. I got excuses, but I could have done it later, but I was hanging out with the family. It was a family day. So, and today's going to be a family day too. So I probably won't make too many videos today either, unfortunately. But enough talk. Let's get to it, okay? Here we are at the precipice of death and demise. We probably don't drop that low. I am curious to see what happens. Up here, this was not an ideal situation. This is something that if we were talking about, I would have been like, no, it's not going to happen, man. We're going to form higher lows. Rounded bottom would have played out. We're going to move up. But here we are. On the bright side, there's not a lot of volume, which tells me, and maybe I'm wrong in assuming this, but it tells me that the people who are selling are probably not rational or people who have heavy bags. It's just a low volume environment, and we can see that here on the 1 hour time frame. We can tell that it's a low volume environment because look at these candles, guys. Look at these candles. Look at how easy the price moves with such little volume here. Don't make a mistake, man. That is very, very low volume here. Look at how low that volume is. And look at how big of a move he made with such low volume. You guys, when we decide to move, it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. We still do have gaps to the upside that need to be filled. Don't we? Maybe not. Maybe we did and we just filled them there. I thought that we did have some gaps. Can't remember. I know there is a gap all the way up at around 2 cents. I know there's that, but I don't want to go over that one. Maybe we did fill all the short-term gaps. Okay, but whatever. Whatever. There was a short-term gap to the downside too right here, and we filled that gap. We've moved up. I didn't expect this pump to last because there was this gap down here, but hey, we filled that gap now. We had more volume on the way down, and we're just back where we are. We didn't push lower. I think there is buying pressure going on, and you can see again. Just look at how, like, digitized. I don't know how jumpy this price action looks. We go back in time here. Like, it's still a little bit jumpy, but it's a lot less. It looks a lot more organic. It still does look a little bit. I I don't know what word to use here, but like glitchy. And that's what happens in these low volume, low liquid environments, but it's especially so right here. Especially so right here. So I do think that once volume comes in, we should have an easy time moving one direction or the other. Whether we move up or we move down. We move up, don't get too excited. Low volume, right, can mean some volatilities in there, so don't get too excited or discouraged. If we move down, same thing. Don't get too excited or discouraged. We can, we can move right back up just as quickly as we move down. The 1 hour RSI is neutral but kind of bullish. Stochastics are oversold, which with that RSI being the way it is kind of bullish. The MACD is coming across above the 0. That's kind of bullish too, but again, I don't know how much to weigh on that because we're just choppy and sideways. It's not really the most exciting kind of template to have as far as price action goes. We look at the 4 hour time frame here. 54 minutes left in this 4 hour candle. RSI is neutral. Of course it is. Here's a positive. Lower lows, lower highs. We broke out of this little channel that we had here. Broke out of that. That's a positive. It is a positive. But overall, we're neutral. Overall, we're just neutral. Stochastics are wild. But that's what you get with sideways chop. And then the MACD is also not going to be helpful. Daily time frame. Get used to it. It's not going to be helpful because we're choppy and sideways. If anything, maybe we are going to find support because we're down at these low areas of this kind of horizontal channel here. You guys have heard my theory in relation to this consolidation phase and this one here. YouTube likes to take that picture. Anytime I draw this, it's like that's the thumbnail for some reason. I don't know why. It likes the lopsided effect there. If we take a time dynamic here from when this started to when we started to pump, that's 59 days, 58 days, whatever. I don't know where to draw it. I guess I'm off by 1 day sometimes. And if we're over here in this kind of consolidation phase, should I take it from here? We're at 64 days. Should I take it from the low? We're at 59 days. Tomato, potato, whatever. This range is just as developed as this consolidation range was here. Yes, this is a consolidation range, even though it's tilted to the downside. Yes, this is a consolidation range, even though it's very neutral and sideways. And the last range that we broke out of was a more bearish type of consolidation range, and we broke out of it gloriously. Here, are we going to break out of it gloriously to the downside or to the upside? Time will tell. But I think we're getting to that point. Volume is dying off. It's at some of the lower levels that we've seen, just like it was back here, and well, we saw some crazy price action. I can't help but think that, we had the sell the news event with Goliath. We even had the sell the news event with Robinhood Legend. That's a sell the news event, and we didn't sell the news. I can't help but think that the reason why we didn't sell the news is because who's selling here? I mean, think about it. In the grand aspect of things, guys, the people who wanted to panic sell at these levels because of how far we've dropped down, they did it back here off of this pump. They did it back here off of all this. I doubt that anybody who didn't sell here is going to sell here now. And maybe if we move lower, that'll be enough of a kick in the pants to convince some new people to sell. But how much? How many? We've been moving down for so long, and now you can see, clearly here, this is different than anything we've done since January of 2025. Clearly something's going on here. And if I didn't know any better, and I think I do know better actually, this is accumulation. This looks to me like an accumulative phase. It really, really does. Low volume, low liquidity, fundamentals building, product building, momentum is shifting, and we can see it in the price. The community is at a level of excitement that I haven't seen really in a while. Throughout this whole range, it's as if you guys have gotten more excited, not less excited. All it takes is a little push, man. It doesn't take much at all in this low volume, low liquid environment. Unfortunately, that the same can be said, and the truth for that is the exact same level of truth to the downside. It doesn't take much volume from here. But I would think that there are a lot more potential buyers ready to hit that green button than there are sellers ready to hit that sell button. I don't know. That's just my perspective. Anyways, price target overall, my expectation is that we will likely see the price grow above this high. We will go up to this golden ratio zone, which is all the way at about 2 cents to 2.3 cents, 2.4 cents, whatever, somewhere in that range. That's all I got. I don't think there's anything else to say. Maybe there's some other news related stuff and I just haven't gotten around to reading the news today. I don't know. Primary target zone would be here, technically, based off of this fib extension. Makes a lot of sense, man, that we're going to go above 2 cents, in my opinion. Hit that like button. Thank you all. Subscribe. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.